2 in pattern drafting, turning darts into style lines. So our princess line bodice looks like this. On the basic bodice, we had a shoulder dart here, which we moved into the side dart. So on the basic bodice, we had a side dart and a waistline dart that we had to accommodate. On the princess bodice, we're moving that side dart, pivoting into the shoulder, and then we're going to connect the shoulder and the waistline dart, cut the dart out, and put it into a style line. So it becomes a seam. So your pattern pieces look like this. Front and back will look the same. You have a center panel, and then cutting out the shoulder dart, cutting out the waistline dart, joining them together, and making them into a seam line that we sew back together. That is the princess line. On your dress forms, all your dress forms already have the princess lines on the dress forms. They become my style lines. So on the front, we also have the center front, cut out the waist dart, cut out the shoulder dart, and sew the side front and the center front together to make a seam. The important part on this one in pattern making is that these two seams match together at the shoulders and that they follow the lines of your dress form. This in pattern making is considered the best fitting block there is. The more seams you have, the more you can adjust. So if the more I can adjust, the better fit I get. Okay? So with that, we are doing the front and back on this one. The front I already have under the machine. This will be the back panel. Front and back look like this. Okay? Center front, and here's the thing for graders. Okay? When I am the pattern maker, you will always get the right side of the dress form only. So the markings on your patterns are representing the right side of the dress form. Markings are facing you, then the front is this side of the dress form. In mass production, we assume the left side is the same as the right side. To make that distinction, it becomes couture. That means that the left side and the right side are not the same, and I made two separate patterns. But this is mass production, so we assume that the left and the right are the same. Therefore, we only drape on the right side of the dress form. So your patterns are coming to you looking like this. This is laid out the entire right side of the dress form. Markings face up. Here's the catch in grading. It doesn't matter what the pattern maker does. Your rules can never change. Your rules are always the pattern faces, center front faces you, side seam is always away from you. So when you're grading the front, all the markings will be facing you. That's the right side of the front. The right side of the back that joins it, you're going to have to take your patterns and place them so that the markings are not facing you.
Okay, face
but
down.
when you mark it, it will be marked on this side. But
Okay.
we're doing cumulative, so all your last marking will be on the back facing up, this side. Your grading can never change. Any questions about that?
Of the back.
Of the back only. Okay. So, on that note, let's take a look at this. We are on page 24 and 25 in your book. We are on page 24 and 25 in your book. Our grade method is going to be based on cumulative. That means that we are limited on our machines as to what we can do, because cumulative, just like last week, means add together. So, size range, we're going to go from the 8 to the 10, 1.5 inches, the 10 to the 12, 2 inches. Everything on your paper is for a 1.5 inch grade. Okay. From the 8 to the 6, 1 inch, from the 6 to the 4, 1 inch. Okay. Our length grade on all bodices. Test question, we have a test next week on Tuesday. Our length grade on all bodices is 1/4 of an inch. That never changes. Okay? So here's what cumulative looks like to you. Okay? Again, just like last week, we are outlining the base size 8 and labeling 8. Okay? Then we're going to be adding the measurements together as we grade. And if you use different colors, you can see the difference. If you're using all pencil, it won't make any difference to you. So, center front, this is what your pattern looks like. You should be very familiar with the bodice now. You have a center front, you have a shoulder neckline intersection. Okay? We have style lines, just like we did the 6-cord skirt, because they sew together. So I have style lines where the dart would have been. On the front, you have notches. This is the bust point notch. These are ease control notches because I'm easing and sewing the side panel over the center panel. So these are called ease control notches. They have to grade. Notches have to grade. Then I have the rest of the shoulder and the shoulder arm's-eye intersection, just like every bodice has. Middle of the armhole grade. Okay. This notch for a sleeve grades with the side seam. So I have the arm's-eye side seam intersection. At that point in time, you can mark this notch. Okay. Then I'm coming down the side seam to the hem. So I have the side seam hem intersection. Back to 0 at the center front, center back. Okay. Then I move out the 1/8 of an inch and I mark the hem and the style line and the hem. Okay. And there's also a place to grade the side panel, just like on the skirt. There is a place to grade the grain line on this one. Okay. So you will have 4 pieces to this: a center front, a side front, a center back, a side back. Any questions? So you'll grade front and back on this one. Okay. And this is all cumulative, so I only get 2 pieces of paper. One for the front, one for the back. Okay. Here is your markings that go into your chart. Okay. So we have step number 1 and 2 have no markings. Okay. Column 1 represents the 1-inch grade. Column 2 represents the 1.5, everything that's here. And column 3 represents the 2-inch grade. Okay? So I put your measurements on the board for you. Any questions? Any questions?